Hello? Testing? Hello? Are we coming through audio-wise? It's been a while since we've streamed, so I'm just making sure the audio is working. The bar is moving.
I hear you on the stream.
The bar's moving for you too. Bogan, welcome. Welcome, one and all.
And I can hear me on the stream. That seems to work.
I do have all the other stupid systems set up. I might just disable our bits, not the Grim Gets bits, because I don't actually have that plugin. I'll just disable channel points for now. Viewers will no longer. Yeah, no, I don't.
I don't think he's actually turned on.
Yeah, he's not turned on. I'll just disable them for now. I can turn them on later. You can only throw bits now. We can hear you on Twitch and YouTube. Yeah, we're on YouTube. That's why I'm a little late, because I was just hastily setting up the being able to stream on YouTube. Let me just launch everything. I've had a rough week in development, so deciding to stream is fun. I literally said, let's not talk about that. That's the first thing. All right. I'm launching it now, so I can. I'm not going to be doing any face cam, just because my face isn't what we're here for.
Oh, I was here for only face.
Let's go full game. Now I need to do a couple things here. Good thing that setting up is the thing that's come up on the stream here. There we go. So I'm streaming on YouTube as well, but we have like a what do you call it? Well, there we are. We have like a vertical camera, so everyone on their phones can see blah blah blah. Here we go. Chat box, that's fine. All right. Yeah, if you're on your phone on YouTube, you can see it. It'll be a thing. We've also got our music in here. It's going to sound a bit. There we go. Is this the announcement for Silk Song? I have no idea what the hell Silk Song is. All right, so I think this might also be recording on YouTube. So I got to make this sound good. Welcome to the stream, everyone, and anyone who joins later on. This is Airship. You can tell because in our title screen, we have it 3 times. This is actually kind of an interesting spot to start. Please let me know if the audio is coming through too loud from the PC. Let me just double check. It seems to be okay. This is such a... Okay. Yeah, so the reason why we have 3 separate titles here, this is actually AI generated. I know it's a crime. This is AI generated. We were using it for a long time. And we're just basically recreating it. We're trying to think maybe we could have like the actual airship, like the real asset for the airship, move around with clouds and stuff, but it may just come back to this kind of design. And that's also our logo. So if you're not aware, that's what the game is called and what it looks like. But yeah, this is I guess it's a title screen / semi-hub, because this is your character here on the right-hand side. That's me. That's the hairstyle that I've chosen and everything. So once you start a game, if you come back here, your character stays the same way, which is really cool. And you can see the particles in the background. This is like Terra's most favorite part of the entire game so far, because he did that.
My favorite bit.
It's the best part.
It's the best part that works.
Wow.
Everything
Yeah, definitely.
coming soon.
AI, yeah. Well, we've committed a couple crimes making this game, but let's jump into it. We do have. I'll throw this up so if anyone randomly joins Discord, they'll be able to join in. There we go. So this is our hub theme, and it looks like awful. I had previously actually worked on a little fix up, and a couple things have changed. So we're back to square one in terms of visuals and stuff. It doesn't make any sense, but the colors and everything in here are going to be completely different. I should actually immediately say that like everything in this little review or show and tell is so early that it's like guaranteed to be changed in the actual beta release and everything. But yeah, you can see here I have E to customize your character. Pretty cool little customization, and this is the same character that we had on the title screen. Now, how does that look for people watching? Pretty awful. I might as well make it like this for people everywhere else. Look at the little boy. Yeah, so we got different classes, and they got different like colors and stuff. They have a color scheme for every class. Is a different color scheme. So you know, if you see someone running around in blue, it's going to be a pilot. If you see someone running around in orange, it's the engineer. See anyone running around, and it's really hard to tell, it's the miner. If you see someone running around in green, it's the wayrider, and red is the gunner. So yeah, each class basically has their own little perks, I guess. Feel free to chime in any time, Tara. We are still coming through, right? It feels so weird. I haven't streamed in such a long time. Let me just double check here, make sure that the stream's okay on YouTube. All right. We've also got, like, on the top left-hand corner, you can see a whole bunch of text. This is basically just debugging stuff. So in our builds, we kind of leave it up there just so we know what's going on when things happen. But obviously that won't be in there in the release. But yeah, so each class is different colors and they've got their own different things. Currently, the one with the least anything to do right now is actually this one, the gunner. So he doesn't actually have any kind of differences in terms of the other dudes. And probably the pilot as well. But they will have their own little features. But we've been focusing heaps on the miner and the engineer. Because these are the guys that kind of... Razor, welcome. Welcome. Long time no see. Loud and clear. Yeah, well, these are the two classes that we are trying to focus on the most because they're the core of getting the airship to actually work. It seems a bit strange, a miner being a part of that, but I will be explaining that as we go through. So we've also got the Wayrider as well, which kind of feeds into every single one. Making this game has been such a headache because every single thing in this game is integrated into something else that like needs the other thing to work. But yeah, I'll start off as a miner. Hopefully our mining actually works. Did you jump in the game? Yes, you have. The lighting in here is giving me very awful feels. It's so dark. Also, yeah, we've got a bug right here. You can see how bright it is under there. Oh, there's a little fun little tweak in there. Well, yeah. So we we have a little death pit there that you can jump into and die. But all the lighting in here is all glitchy because, well, that's the airship there, and that thing has lights on it. But for some reason, it's spawning them all here in the center. Again, easy fix. We just, for some reason, everything got undone, and couldn't fix it in time to do this stream here. So this is the hub. The hub makes, if anyone's played Deep Rock Galactic, I think that's one of the core things that I really wanted to pull from. So you've got each player's like bedroom, and you spawn in them. We all currently spawn in different bedrooms. And this is where you can customize your character and do all that kind of stuff. And then out here is where you actually customize. Look at that flashing. Doesn't that look good? This is actually where you would customize your abilities and stuff. So this would be like a little forge/furnace, and so you come here and you get XP throughout the gameplay, and you can unlock things for your character's class. And then on top of that, you'll get like monies, and you can come over here, and we'll have like little shops, so you can buy aesthetics, all in-game currency. But at the moment, it's all just for show, and you can tell it's very grey boxy. The only reason there's any textures on here is because I don't really like the look of grey box sometimes. So this should all be grey box. And I've also just slapped on different assets like that shield up the top there and stuff. That's not actually what it's going to look like in the end. And then this is like a little decoration thing just to see what we could actually have it look like at the end. But yeah, the hub world is pretty much where you have everything nice and set up, right? Right,
Sounds
Tara?
good. That sounds good.
Do you have anything else you wanted to add? I'm going to have an up and go while you talk.
There's not particularly anything more I want to add. You pretty much got it all. There's not too much more in here.
No.
That we've started
Well,
working on anyway.
Yeah. Well, the other big thing, I suppose, is the actual environment. Like out here, for some reason, we can't actually see down here because of how dark it is. I'm on the ship. Is that too dark for people to see?
Yeah,
I think
we'll
it
probably
might-
show up black. Yeah.
Yeah, you might just be able to see that. But down there is like a whole dwarven city. So the idea is that you start in this little area here. You never go down there. It's all just for looks. But you're a part of like this world that's a little bit bigger than this tiny little thing. Up and go at 8:20. I know, yeah, but I'm streaming and my throat hurts. So we have up and goes all the time. It's the way we roll.
Sounds like you're still trying to go for that sponsorship.
Yep, that's right. Up and go. All right, we'll jump into the actual world so we can fly around some stuff. The hub world is probably one of the least developed sections. It's kind of just there at the moment. And we're not really intending to add anything crazy to it anytime soon. Now, I might just quickly add... I might just add in the lumen. I think that'll do it. If my computer starts farting... I'm running on medium graphics at the moment. I don't know if that worked. It did work. I think this is the build that still has lumen being like really dark in the plants.
Yeah,
I think it might be.
I think it is. I think we fixed
might
all
just-
that before it broke.
Yeah. I don't want to go have a look down there. Should I turn lumen off? I might. Yeah, we'll leave it off for now because there's a button. It's literally a button that makes everything that's really dark look not so dark. Anyway, this is the world at the moment. It's actually rather large. It's incredibly large at the moment. This is our airship, and we'll have a little walk around and kind of give you an idea of what we're trying to achieve here. It is quite monolithic in terms of scope, but at the same time, it's not like it is big, but it's not. It's kind of just visually. Let's say it's like a pond, like an ocean that's ankle deep. Hopefully, that's the best way to put it. But we are trying to have other things that make it deeper. But at the moment, it is literally just an ocean that's ankle deep. So this is our testing area. It's a little dock. So the concept is you're working for a company, kind of like Deep Rock Galactic, and you are given an airship. It's not your personal airship that you get to keep. It is an airship that you're basically loaning from the company, and you have to do a bunch of tasks for the people in the world. One of which is literally working for the company. So you would have like these little, you got these little cranes and stuff that load the airship. You'd have people that you talk to. Ignore these things in the ground here. You'd have people that you talk to that you could get missions from. Do you have a release date planned? No, not at the moment. You talk to people, and then you look at the game. Does it look like we don't even have anything to? I have to explain what we're planning to do. We don't have a release date yet. So you talk to the people, and you get a mission, and the mission might be literally deliver these crates to somewhere on the other side of the world. And then these would be loaded on. I don't know if it would have a visual for it, maybe like a little cutscene or something, or it just automatically happens. And then you'd have the lower deck down here, or somewhere on the deck in general. You'd have some crates that you have to take to the location. But the core of the game is navigating across the world without dying and being able to deliver the stuff to the location. And you don't really know the world to begin with when you start playing, so you kind of have to play it quite a bit before you a good example is say in Skyrim, for example, if someone said you'd never played the game before, and then someone says, oh, I need you to go to so-and-so location, you're not really going to know where that is without having been there before, or having some NPC basically take you there straight away. So you have to discover places before you can really know how to get there. So that's kind of one of the main things I'm trying to aim for, is having the game be big enough for you to be able to explore and learn about locations. The release date is definitely January 2014. No, it's not. Also, hello, welcome, Master Solid. Direct, current, or DC? BC or AC? What? You're saying year? 2024 BC. Yes. 4,000 years ago, this game will be released. Direct current or DC? Okay. I'm just going to rely on Terra to ask the questions, because every time I look up, I'll be distracted. So if you guys have questions, please feel free to ask them as we go along. And Terra will basically butt in, and I'll do my best to answer them, or he'll do his best to answer them. But the more questions, the better, because even if they're just thoughts, general thoughts, if just feel free to butt in, and we'll go along with that. But yeah, that's the idea of the game. So you are a delivery crew that has to get across the world to deliver goods to the people. Pretty cool, right? So what is the challenges of the actual airship flying around? One, it's an airship. Oh man, I just realized none of the fucking...
Yeah.
Oh. Damn it. Okay. The airship will look nicer. It won't just be this stiff thing that just stands still like that. And there's a lot of still grey boxy things, like the ground here isn't the right texture or anything. We did have the airship, so when you move forward, it actually looked like it was floating. It was really nice. It'll all come back. I'm not supposed to talk about it yet. It'll all be in here, and it'll look much nicer. Got this little rope. This looks nice until you start moving. It also doesn't really have any purpose, but yeah. Anyway, what do you do? How do you have the airship work? It is basically running on magic. There's a giant fin here. My mouse keeps disconnecting the screen. There we go. There's a giant fin here. We have a giant copper thing here. What is that? That's a boiler. We've got some magical engines down there, and a whole bunch of copper pipes just kind of leading everywhere. We've got a single lever here. This is actually our anchor, so that works currently. I can just play with it as much as I want. It's currently... I don't know why, but it took me a while to realize this lever's way too high. I don't know why. It just, yeah.
One of the questions in relation to the anchor was, can you be left behind? And if so, how would you get the player back up to the ship?
That is the first issue that I saw. I was like, what happens if they leave the area and someone's on the ground? So the idea is we have these loading zones, and I'll show you once we fly around. We have these loading zones that when you enter the loading zone, we'll have a warning pop up for basically every single player to say the airship is leaving this zone. And you'll have like a couple, I don't know, a minute before you get teleported back to the ship. I know it doesn't seem very realistic, but I think we might have some in-world lore idea with having like rune stones that allow you to teleport. And because like if a character dies, how do they get respawned in any game? We'll have magic be the answer to all of our problems. But if they should be able to run around, hypothetically, so long as the airship stayed in this area, they can run around this area as long as they want. It's as soon as the airship loads a different area, we would like the characters to stay together as a crew. So, we'd want to pull them back onto the airship. Does that make sense? I think so.
I think so.
Yeah. So, yeah, talking about how the airship works, we got to go to the lower decks, and we have an engine room here. Now, this engine room is very ugly at the moment, but it could be worse. I could show this screen. What's that?
What engine version are we using as one of the questions?
Oh, it's 5.5 now. So I'm going to tell you a little story. We jumped over to 5.6, and our multiplayer just stopped working. The problem is we didn't realize it stopped working, and we did a bunch of development stuff. We got like all these nice little features. It was a lot of polish, and then we tested it, and we hadn't tested it together. Honestly, it's a big learning experience. And we lost all that work, and we had to downgrade back to 5.5.
For now, it'll come back.
It'll come back. It'll like next stream you'll see everything that we added. But yeah, we jumped over to 5.6, and then we realized multiplayer wasn't working. I can't even bother explaining how or why. We don't know the answer. Now we're back on 5.5, and it's working. So that's all we can really say. Look at this. Look at this thing. Look at this thing. Doesn't that look cool? This is our current system. It is the not fun version of our boiler system. This is good coder art right here, because it used to just be numbers and words and stuff. So he just quickly drew in a little concept. I don't know if it's a concept. DK, you're not late. You're here on time. We've barely scratched the surface. But this is our boiler system. So everything here is actually, it is here. So you see there's like a air pump. You've got the actual furnace here. This is the furnace temperature gauge. You've got the water thing here. You've got each pipe here. They're all here. So all of this is here. So those four valves are right here. And you can turn them and do stuff. So you can see what the pressure output is. Currently we have no pressure because there's no water in the tank. But if I was to, say, increase the water, if we just open up the flow, this is all, like, absolutely work in progress. It's not going to work like this at all. There's currently no burning, so the furnace is not lit at all, but I can literally just raise the temperature. And I hope this works, because I know there was a bit of a bug. Yeah, I don't think it works anymore. But it used to be that if you raised this temperature, which is currently insanely hot, the plate would actually raise the temperature like this. And that would... I don't think any of this works now. This would create steam.
Work a lot, yeah.
Yeah, it's all disconnected. This would create steam, which you go into the pipes, and then you can manually open up the valves for each pipe. For now, it doesn't work. So what we can show, I can just explain it. So you got steam in here, and then you open up the valves in here, and you can see that valve is basically all the way open. So this system would be working at full potential. I can see outside we're moving a little bit. So each one of these systems is basically tied to one of the classes. So the first one would be the pilot. The second one would be the gunner, I think. And the third one is the mining class, which is me currently. And the fourth one is the wayrider. So the airship itself needs steam to be able to move optimally, right? So you have to have some sort of steam coming in. But how do you get steam? You need to burn things. So how do you burn things? You need to have things to burn. So if I go down here, this is our storage. I'm surprised these boxes are here. I didn't realize. Anyway, this is our storage zone. So you need to go down to the ground to get stuff. So the miner is the guy who goes down there to get stuff like coal and a whole bunch of other burnable things. Currently, I think we can mine a couple things. I think I'll be able to show that. If you take us to the right spot, I will tell you where. Yeah, basically, just right of the giant head. You can see these ropes are working really well. They are not glitching at all. Same with my beard. Beard's working 10 out of 10 beard.
Right of the giant head.
Yeah, right of the giant head. It is on your left now. Behind us now.
Oh.
Yeah. Just lower the ship. What's the height currently?
240.
240. What is it? 100?
Ah, big stone giant head. Yes.
Yeah, big stone giant head. There's just so many little features that we want to add. Currently, it's so like there's so many things. Like we have this little spot here that you can't even tell is a thing, but it is oh wait, is the light crap? No, it's good. Okay, I thought that was you did that ages ago. But this is the Wayrider's seat, right? So the Wayrider is constantly looking for spots on the map for people to go to. Now my textures and stuff are kind of crap because I've set it on medium just because PC kind of poo-poo. But we have a little cave here, so I'm going to go over to the cave and hopefully my mining works. Now I did release a video explaining what the mining is. We can jump down here though. So Terra has just dropped an anchor. I want to have it so you can actually slide down. It doesn't just you don't just appear up at the top and down at the bottom. I want to have it so you basically, you connect to the actual the rope and you slide down, and the same going back up. But let's go over to here. I think if I do this, you'll see the actual lighting, and it might be really crappy. Oh, it doesn't look too crappy. Where's the cave? Over here. So, wait, where the hell is the cave? I went the wrong way. That's where the light is. Question, is there a way to solo fly an airship, or do you need a full team? Currently, I mean, technically you can solo fly, because none of the systems are really working. Not properly anyway. But we do have intentions to have solo play. We're just going to have, bots, basically, that are, guys that you can hire at different places to do certain things. So if you have... you still need an engineer class and all that kind of stuff. So if you hire someone to do your engineering, he'll be basically locked to that area and it'll just automatically do those systems. And you'll pretty much play as an every class role, with a focus on piloting, because I think I don't really want to have to work out how to get the airship to fly by itself. So you'll be piloting, but you'll hire guys. Again, currently that's quite a way away. It's not even, we haven't even discussed how that would work, but that's how we do it. Now, what is the button for light? It is L again. It changed it to F. Now it's L. So going into a cave.
The other question was how can the players know if they're going the right way when flighting?
When flighting.
Flying, fighting? Technically, I guess you could do both.
When fighting or flying?
He said flighting, so I'm assuming he's asking about both.
How do you know if you're going the right way? Well, I'll actually answer that in just a minute. I just want to make sure this works. Yeah, you shouldn't be able to see because it'd be way too dark for you. The miner currently is the only one with a light, but every class will have a little lantern. It'll just take up your inventory space. So currently the idea is that if you have one of these items selected, say a hammer, it uses up your hand, so you can't really you can't select two things at once, even though a hammer of all things is a one-handed hammer, but against the point. So you either have a lantern out or you don't. With the miner, he can have a head lantern, so he can actually use a lantern and his pickaxe, which makes him quite unique. Now, does this work? Maybe. Yeah, it works. So you can see here, I don't even think there's audio. You can see here I just collected a bunch of stuff. If I check my inventory, which is probably some wacky button like V, yes it is. I got 10 coal from that. And it goes straight in my backpack, and you can see you go around here. Let's mine some more. So if I go slow, it's easier to hit the spot, but you get less XP is the idea. Miss. Yeah. So that has increased my... So I've got 21. Boop, boop. It's like the same at the moment. It doesn't really make any difference. Look at those skills. All right. So what you do with that, you take that back up and you put it into a box. Or you put it into the storage of the airship, and it's nighttime. We go over to the airship. Now the airship could be doing... It's probably not going to be sitting around waiting for us to do this, unless there's absolutely no supplies whatsoever. And resources to collect on the ground, while the airship is whatever, doing combat or going to do something else, actually delivering stuff. If I go here, we have all of these. We can transfer it over to here, and that's in the airship. Now, the idea is that it goes through a pipe system, and it feeds it into these crates here. And we did have it working. I'm just going to explain what you could do. They basically fill up boxes, and they come out of these pipes. You pick up a box, and it'll be filled with, say, 10, 20, whatever the max amount of box is. And then you put it on this conveyor belt, and it goes up to the top. And then it's out of the miner's hands. It doesn't have to touch it ever again, right? Because it's at the top, and that's where the engineer's job is. And that's how that works. Now, how do you know where you're supposed to go? We have a class called the Wayrider, and this is his little room currently. It may be expanded, but he's got a little table here that's very grey boxy, but this is going to be the map. So each area or each region is going to have its own map. Maps, that's a plural. There's going to be several maps to make up a map. And each little section in the world, so can you raise the ship real high?
I can do that.
Thank you.
Oh, we're attached. Got to detach from the floor. Down we go.
Right.
Way we up.
Imagine overfilling the airship with 20 people and bots. Well, I don't see that as a problem, to be honest. Now, I've played lots of Sea of Thieves, and I found that the largest ship, it's like a 12-man ship, IRL. It's a very large ship. 8 cannons in total. It should be quite a lot of people running around on the deck, and there's only 4 people at any given time. So I'm actually really pro having lots of people, so long as there's something to do for the people. So yeah, 20 people in total on a ship is not crazy. And you can see my LODs popping out there. And just give us a slow twirl, like just turn. So level it out and do a slight turn. Yeah, that'll do. So this area is called Durdoon. It's actually the southern gates of Durdoon. Durdoon's this giant mountain that the dwarves live in, and they basically haven't been on this side of the world for a very long time, so it's very overgrown. But for maps, you might have like a region like this spot right here. So literally just this area of trees that go up to the wall. That would have its own map. And this is all like speculation theory. We haven't done it yet, but this is like in discussion. So this area alone would have its own map that has to be charted by the Wayrider. And the Wayrider needs to get maps from people in the world. So the player, if you play as a Wayrider, they are the map keepers, and they are the people who can lead the way and tell you where to go. Say that all these grey boxy things. Say that this tower is like a delivery location, for example. How do you know where to go? Well, the name of the tower may be whatever. We'll just call it Dwarf Tower. But the only person who'll be able to read and know on the map where that is the Wayrider. And the only way to do that is to discover and purchase maps or unlock maps or whatever as you go along. There's loads of landmarks. Yeah, landmarks are another thing as well. Currently, we got this little guy here. Here's a landmark. Little naked man. He's not little. He's a giant. There's a little man. Oh, the guns are just like staring at us.
We must be just in range, but not shootable.
Yeah. Yeah, you got like this little bridge, which would be a landmark, right? Be like, oh, we're looking for a bridge. Yeah. I really want to have it be relying on players' brains. I don't really like. I love games that are like quite casual and they give you a breadcrumb trail and lead your hand right to the location. And your main focus is to get into combat and do this and do that. But I also love the idea of discovering things and feeling like as if you're actually discovering something and not just being led straight to the location. Like, for example, if you had a quest to deliver something in Durdun, which is this region, and it's like, I don't know, 100 meters south of this giant head, right? You got to look at the map and be like, 100 meters south, okay, where's south? And actually work it out, like a real navigator would actually have to do. And once they do that, they can mark on the map and write what it is that's on the map. Again, none of this actually exists, but this is the theory that you'll be able to, as a Wayrider, make the maps instead of just having a map and going straight to the locations. All in theory. And it doesn't work until you test it, right? There's a reason why AAA games don't do this. So, as an indie, we can take the risk, and hopefully people like it, but it sounds exciting. Well, that's good to hear. At least one person thinks it's exciting. I personally think it's cool. I don't know how the rest of the world will take it. I think it is going to be a very niche audience. I mean, just a airship, dwarven. This is so niche. A dwarven airship ship management system that relies on steam with mining and all that kind of stuff. They're all like so. I don't think anyone's really done it before.
Specific. Yeah.
Yeah. But I think there's a reason why no one's done it before. It's because it's a bad idea. No, it's a good idea. The world itself is pretty huge. So let's I might lose frames here at some point. Let me just turn off my crazy shadows. There we go. Currently I am running on a shit PC, and we have attempted to optimize the hell out of this, but just can't really get it to work at the moment.
That is the correct term, optimization hell.
Yeah. How do we help fund games development? Currently, the game is on Steam for wish listing. We don't have a funding thing yet. I do have a link that I put in the description that has a Grimgits thing, but I don't know if it's set up. Like, you can donate to it. I just don't know if it's set up. I don't know where it goes either. But yeah, currently we don't have any like funds. Yeah, we're just kind of working and working it out as we go. Here we go. So let's just have a little exploration around the world for now, so you can get an idea of what scale we're working with here. I really hate that the airship doesn't rotate anymore. It's like such a small little thing that was added. I know it was a lot, but
so much.
So much coming to a stop. The airship used to roll forward, moving back. It used to roll backwards. I'm really annoyed. All right, well, we'll go to a separate region here. So this is a gateway, basically. And the way it works functionally in the game is it's a loading zone. So once you enter this spot, we'll have the warning. So say someone's down here, where we just were, way back over there, and they're mining for something. And for some reason, communications in the team is just awful. And the airship is deciding to leave for whatever reason. That person who's on the ground is, well, you can see how long it takes just to get to where we're going. This is the airship, like almost at full speed at the moment. What is 24 knots? It was like 50 kilometers an hour, wasn't it?
I can't remember the conversion off the top of my head.
We are moving relatively fast, though.
It's roughly times 2.
Yeah. If anyone in chat wants to work out the speed. So we are now entering the gateway, and you can see this thing's quite huge. Boop-a-doop-boop. So now it would warn everyone, saying, okay, the airship is leaving the area. And there would be like a countdown, basically. And once we hit a spot in here, it's actually going to load the next map. And it'll deload that map. And you can kind of get an idea of how big this world is. I just realized click makes me go super fast, so don't click.
Oh, yeah.
It's not set up? Okay. Mildly off topic, but is the map traversable on foot? Only asked because I saw a road. Oh, you didn't actually see us go on the ground. Yes. Yeah, the entire world is traversable on foot. You're not locked to the airship. Yeah, that was actually one big thing. We've played a couple airship games while testing this. There was only a few that were like, you can actually just fully explore the world. And actually there was so few of them that it's like a really core part of this game to be able to do that. You can see down there's like a little pathway. It's quite a lot of work to develop the world. So it's like viewable from this airship, so it looks lovely, but also runs, because you're gonna have to be down there in the ground, on the ground there, and have it look basically like going for a AAA look in its own way, and still have it run nicely. Now, this is like the biggest game that we've worked on. We've worked on a couple games, never to this scale in terms of open world.
We like punishing ourselves.
Yeah, and it has been like, look at that forest, looks amazing, right?
It looks good.
It looks really nice, and the forest is using methods that are so notoriously like, do not make terrain like this, do not make forests like this. The trees are not using planes. They're actually like all of these assets, because I come from like a 3D printing background. All of these assets are 3D printable, and they're meant to be 3D printable, because I want the world to look like, well, my art style, which is this 3D printed feel and look. I'll give you a good example with these trees down here. We'll land in this extremely heavily Kingdom Come Deliverance inspired area. So there's a gunner to man the well guns. What will they shoot at? Fortresses and airships? Yes, exactly that. So I'm not sure if people. Let's see if Thieves is the best reference for what kind of gameplay we're trying to aim for. So Sea of Thieves having like events and stuff while you're doing stuff. But most of the time, Sea of Thieves, you don't really have to do delivery runs. Whereas in this game, you will have to, like, the whole core is like delivering a shipment of something to somewhere on the other side of the world. So yeah, you really have to what was I saying? You really have to like look at how the world I've actually confused myself just then. Sea of Thieves. Yeah, you might have an event on the way that distracts you, right? So if this was our location, who knows? Maybe there's like a bandit outpost right there, and while you're coming at it, it's being attacked or something. We don't really know. It could be like anything, right? So world events, you know, the shark that chases you in Sea of Thieves, or the another airship might come to try to steal your shit, and you've basically just got to defend yourself. Like, that's the game. Like, imagine you're a delivery driver, but everyone hates you, and the world is extremely hostile. So kind of a normal delivery driver. I have disembarked on a tent. So this is exploring on the ground. You can see here, there's my little scale system. So I pretty much just plop these guys down to be able to see if the world is the correct scale. You can see up here, there's our airship. And we can run around and do stuff. Now, a lot of this is still very early in development. You can see there's a seam in here. And we also lose a lot of frames when we're looking at the forest. But you can see these trees, the way that they're made is not normal for trees. Normally, trees would be like a whole bunch of planes smushed together with a couple things. Whereas I've actually got asset, like big bush asset. Here's like another little plant. And it moves like it's in the ocean because shaders are easy to do. Oh, I totally forgot about the first spot. We do have flowers. Flowers that can be picked. These flowers can't be picked, but we do have other flowers. I'll go back and show them. One of the cool things about the forest currently, I'm much happier with it now than I was a good little while ago. It's quite dense. Like, it feels like a forest in some point, in some spots. Some other spots, not so much. But you can get turned around pretty easily when you're in the forest, and you kind of rely on really tall things or the airship itself to be able to tell where the hell you're going. But yeah, you can totally run around everywhere on the ground. There's only one spot in here that I know of that I'm going to give away. Yeah, while I'm running, Tara, please feel free to talk, because my throat hurts and I've run out of up and go.
Well, you're pretty much covering everything. Like, there's nothing to talk about. I have died.
Yes.
Fallen into the ground.
Yes.
Held rate.
Master Solid asks a question. What about on-ground hazards like animals and hostile dwarves? How would the player deal with such things? We've had some friends playtesting this, and currently it always ends up with people just running around on the ground and basically playing hide and seek. And like, the question is like, what do you guys want, like, right now? Like, if you could have anything, and it's combat on the ground. So it's kind of unavoidable at this point that we need to have combat on the ground, because as nice as this might look, if there's nothing to do down here besides mine and gather resources, it's not really going to be fun in the long term, I think. How are we going to do it? That's still undecided. I think we're going to have... so if I was to use my pickaxe, we could also use that as a weapon. These guys aren't fighters, is like one of the core things that I want to make it very clear. They're not warriors. They're workers. So they're kind of vulnerable, really. If you went down as someone who didn't have a pickaxe and they only had a hammer, like the engineer, for example, like it would suck, right? Because you're not really made for combat, and you're coming across, say, goblins or something like that, or guys that want to kill you, and you've got really shit tools to defend yourself. So ideally, you have the airship there to defend you, because the airship has cannons. The airship will have explosive stuff. Yeah, but you should still be able to do combat. It'll just be very not good to be getting into combat. Like, you want to avoid ground-to-ground combat. Yeah, squishy mortals are, in fact, mortal. That is right. And dwarves may be hardy, but not all dwarves are, combat veterans. Let's just put the shadows on him here so you can see how dark it actually is. We got a nice little cave in here. This was actually one of the first things. It's going to be totally deleted later on. Anyone who watched the last streams that we did should recognize these stones. You do get an achievement for coming down here, like an actual Steam achievement that we were testing. You can see here at the top it says no global achievement percentage, because I've already got the achievement. But yeah, there's like a little exploration spot, right? And there might be a character down here. Why is there a dude here? There's a guy studying stuff. This is the world that I want to build up on. Guy studying these stones. You go up to him. Maybe he's got some quests for you. Simple quests, nothing crazy. Like, most of these quests need to be like deliver X to Z, right? Or deliver A to B, and back and forth. Maybe he might have a quest like, oh, bandits stole something. Can you go clear out this area? They're the kind of quests that we want to do. Nothing, at least to begin with, nothing crazy. Hardy halfling is the equivalent of a holing. I don't even know what that means. I just heard the gunfire. I'm assuming my audio is locked to you because the audio is currently broken in this build. It is.
Little thing, yeah.
Yeah. It just means I need to die.
It is interesting how that works.
Yeah. Do I now have audio? How do I have this? What is my go away, please go away. Did it? Oh, why is it showing all of these options? I don't want that. Debug, please. I want r.lumen. Can I just undo until it goes away? That's so shit. There we go. Alright. Let me just test with the hammer. I think I do have audio now. Yeah. So yeah, that's where we're at the moment. There is a lot of other stuff that we can't really show because it doesn't exist.
Or it's not accessible. Yeah.
Not accessible, yeah. Like, we have a whole bunch of beards and stuff and cosmetics and shit that you can unlock, and we have all the mining stuff ready to go. It's just, there's so much to do. So little time.
It's the age-old saying, and it is always true.
But the core of the game is managing the ship at the moment. I just want, personally, to, once we have ship working to its intended abilities, so that basically means having the all the mining system working. It almost is. Having the storage systems working, and having the steam systems working, as in the engineer stuff. Once that's all working, you can see here what the ground used to look like. Once all of that's working, I think we'll be good to do some insider beta testing. So not available for just everyone, just like literally a couple people just pulling in, and we'll do beta testing and we can stream it and do a whole bunch of weird stuff. But I think once we get the actual guns and enemies working, and a couple missions, then we can actually throw it.
Alive.
Yeah, then we can actually throw it onto what's it called? The other Steam itself for early access. But everything, there's so many systems that we need to get working before we can even consider beta testing alone. And like, look at the draw distance in this. Yuck. I was actually trying to test water here. There's so many things that you don't realize. Like, as a dev, we were using Unity for such a long time, and we switched to Unreal, and we got comfortable with it to the point where we're like, okay, let's make a bigger project. But we're still learning things, right? So you can see like a lot of pop in here. Here's a gateway that's locked off.
I
Did
slipped
you jump off?
the deck. Oh, purpose.
This gateway is locked off, so this is, you know, an idea for another part of the development cycle of this game. Is when the game is playable, I love the idea of world building. I'm going to break the game here just by zooming off really fast in a second.
Well,
there we go. I'm just going to... You cannot and will not ever be able to go this speed. It's just to get me across the world so I can show off shit. Here we go. So the other idea is that the world actually develops as we develop it. So the first region is littered with trees. And I don't know if you know dwarves. Notoriously, they're not really fond of elves and whatnot. And trees are kind of like directly connected to elves. So the fact that the area is quite overgrown, as we develop it, and this place is quite underdeveloped, no trees whatsoever. As the game progresses, the trees will be cut down. And because the trees are getting cut down, we can have missions that are focused on delivering like logs and stuff across the world, because that's what they're working on, right? That's just an idea. Like, and the world itself, every time we do a big update, we'll have big chunks of the area, but big chunks of trees being removed, and we'll have like little NPC dudes walking around carrying logs and everything. I know it sounds like a lot, but it's like, yeah, that makes sense. That's what the world is currently going through, so that's what we need to have, and we can have missions that actually relate to it. And I'm a huge fan of how Helldivers is currently doing their game, even though like their game's completely different to this. I do love that it started different to how it is now. So only people who start playing the game will actually know what it looked like at the start, even if the game is nothing like how it ends up in the end. I think Sea of Thieves did the same thing. They will there be a Terra, you're not reading any question. Will there be an emote wheel? You got to interrupt me. I will just keep talking. You have to interrupt me.
I could do that.
Interrupt me. You just say, Commissar has a question.
Hello.
Yeah.
Commissar
Hello. Hello, Mod. So we're in another region. We did just pass through a gate. I tried to make it as seamless as possible. It's basically like a little trench cavern. I've totally forgotten what I was talking about. Big fan of Helldivers 2. Yeah. Well, yeah. Yeah. So the world is constantly changing as we develop it. Now, all these regions won't be available either. They're kind of learning spots for me, as well as world building, learning how to do world building in a way that isn't
just in different portions of things. Yeah,
in a way that isn't gross. Ads. We got ads. Do we have ads on YouTube? I don't know. Probably. Go over this hill. This is the one like nice little spot. I have noticed this place runs really smooth compared to the other areas because there's no trees.
Funny that.
Yeah, it's crazy when you add 400,000 trees.
Yeah, the
But this
enemies
is
tend to not like it.
this will probably be the density of most areas, right? Unless you're in a forest. This is very mountainous and crazy. Can we fly into the sun was Master Solid's question. No. Although, it's a good question in terms of like atmospheric stuff, like heat. I think we will and kind of need to have some kind of heat system. Because currently,
that was on my mind.
yeah, like having like an ice region or like a snow region. If you go too high, like there's a limit to how high you can fly in this game, and the idea is like when you go too high, it's freezing cold and like really windy, so you can't exceed the height of whatever limit that we put on this game. So yeah, I think we will have weather effectors. Because cold, you'd have to run the boiler. You'd have to like get the heat up quite good, right? And if it's too hot, you'd have to like cool it down somehow.
Theoretically.
We just jump down here. This is like just a little idea, a little visualization of a spot that you might be delivering to. So this would be like a little delivery spot. It's a little tavern. I actually hate the scale of this place. And this could be a dude that you deliver to. It's awful. The scale.
Yeah.
I just changed the building. I need to work on a new building, brand new, from scratch. Because these are yeah, pretty much. These are 3D printable buildings that I made a long time ago, and I'm just like, oh, I'll just slap them in here and they'll be fine. They're not terrible, but they're not how I want them to look. It's also so bright in here. There's like 5-6 lights in here.
What happened to the elves during the game?
What is that a question? What is that?
Yeah.
Oh, my thing's not loading. Where are the elves? What's going on? Well, there's a whole backstory that I'm working on at the moment, and I don't know how I'm going to deliver it yet. I'm thinking of just having like a little book series, like a really short book series. But basically, let's just go back to the start because it's the only way to do it. I'm going to cheat. You're going to see behind the scenes here. Stuff that you'll never be able to see playing it unless we leave it in by accident. So what happened to the elves? Just going to keep that on my mind. Here's another little thing. That mountain, some things will always be viewable in the world. So you can kind of work out where you are. Even if you don't have a wayrider, you'll be able to see epically scaled landmark. Like Durdoon. Now, Durdoon is the capital, I guess, of these dwarves. Or in this region anyway. Durdoon is the place. It's going back here because some of you may have missed it. Here we go. This is the laggy region because it is a thick forest. So the idea is, I think when we actually have testing, it'll only be in this region. But the idea is that the dwarves, and ignore what the actual these walls and stuff look like. They're going to be quite damaged and overgrown. The idea is that the dwarves have been currently occupied in the north due to war, basically. And this is the south. So this is, if I had a map, I could show you. I do have a map. If I had a map up, I could show you. But basically, in the north, they've been focusing on this big conflict, and they've been fighting against an enemy, and they've only recently been able to come back here. So it's been like a couple centuries. So everything's overgrown, and they're reclaiming the lands, and they're also trying to help the people that live in these lands, or have been like surviving by themselves. So there's actually been no real dwarven authority or presence for a really long time here. and the elves are in the north. So they're like, it's real world if you picture, because this is kind of based on like Middle Earth kind of logic, where it's like it's a real world, but it's changed a little bit. Where we are is basically the Alps, the Swiss Alps, and above the Swiss Alps you've got like Germany and all that kind of stuff. Where the elves are is around Poland. So a lot of the world has changed, but it's around that area, and we're like really, really far south. And the dwarves from this region went really far north to help the elves and the humans and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, and they basically locked the gates here, and they've not touched it. So that's why there aren't any elves here or anyone. They're just coming back to reclaim their lands and help the people. Does that make sense? This is just all an idea as well. Like, that could change. That's just that's how
open for debate when it comes to implementing it.
Yeah, it's all like, yeah, that's the idea. Who knows if that's the actual story, but that's the idea.
Whatever feels correct.
Yeah.
Where do they sleep? I'm guessing the people, the characters.
The dwarves, like your players?
I assume so. At inns, or will there be beds on board?
Oh, yes, okay. So I do want to have like hammocks and stuff, but I don't know if we'll have a sleep mechanic, unless we want to have like a skip nighttime ability where everyone sleeps. Just trying to dock this thing. I think we do need an auto dock feature. Like when you get close to it, you just press a button and yeah.
I had started to plan it out and do it, and I wanted like a little maybe doorway or something. It was auto going to pop out like a plank.
Yep. Did you just die?
I did.
Yeah, so yeah.
Because you parked too far away.
Oh, did I? Sorry. Yeah, that's another thing as well. I can't move horizontally at the moment, but we will be able to. But basically strafe with the airship.
Oh, I didn't die that time. I fell.
There you go. That should be better. So I want to show you something else as well while we're here. So where do they sleep? Yeah, they'll have little hammocks. They could be sleep if we want to have a pass the day system. So currently, if I just do this, you can actually see it. We do have this built in, so we can change the time of day at will. So we could implement a if everyone goes to sleep, you sleep for like 8 hours or whatever, and the time of day changes. But at the moment, we don't have any intention to have sleeping. But that could change depending. Like if it's here, it's not hard to. I say it's not hard to. This is all on Terra, but he'll say it's not hard. It's not hard to implement that everyone, when they go to a bed, it skips a certain amount of time. It's possible. But hey, you know what? If people play test it during early access, if people are like, if there's enough people going, I really wish we could skip the day. I really wish if we could just sleep, and skip the day, then more than likely we'll add it in, because it's not really a primary thing. Until enough people whinge, we won't do anything. Where'd I go? I'm still on the ship.
Stop talking.
No. Did I?
Probably not on the stream, but...
I've been talking this whole time. Have I been talking this whole time?
Yeah. It was only for like 3 seconds.
Oh. Follow-up questions. Please.
Terra, what about a desert area?
Desert.
Like sandstorms or something.
Yeah, that's yeah, exactly. DK. That was DK, yeah. So sandstorm, something, exactly. Like I don't know how else to. Just yes. What you're asking, yes.
Welcome to Doom.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Deserty areas. Yeah. I'll just say yes for now, because we definitely want to have different regions that aren't all, this foresty, perfect, mountainous. Underwater Kobold City. Yeah, I'll actually show you what region after this. Can you launch thing other than cannonballs out of the cannons? I think we talked about that a little bit. I think it was more, can we put things in the furnace?
I think the idea was, though, yeah, if you did have run out of stuff, you could just load anything. So you could put stuff in the cannons, shoot it, stuff in the furnace, burn it.
Yeah, I don't see why not. Yeah, it wouldn't be very good. But we've got things right here, right? So this is another part of the game that's like very, very much like has no function yet. But you can collect flowers. Now, this may or may not be a final game, but the Wave Rider currently just has a mapping system. So the idea is, they're just doing on the mapping and they look through their telescope and they spot things. And like, to me, I'm like, that's really useful, but it's also really boring. Like long term, it's extremely boring. So I want to have the idea of them being they're the smart guy. They're the guys who do everything. They can write and they can read. They can do alchemy. So alchemy is one thing that I actually want to really have in this game, of which you need to collect flowers, which seems kind of like nothing. But I think it can have some really fun effects, especially if we have so imagine you can coat cannonballs with like poisonous effects. So when you fire it, it like explodes into a gas cloud. And to do that, you'd need to collect poisonous plants, of which we have here Wolfsbane. Wolfsbane is a poisonous plant. My character as a miner doesn't know that they're poisonous. He doesn't even know what they're called. He just can pick flower. Poppies are healing plants. So we have all these different types of plants that can do different things. So we've got salvia here, which is poisonous. And we also got azalea, which is poisonous. I know that's a shock. They are poisonous. And then chamomile, which is a healing thing. So we could have potentially like cannonballs that you shoot at friendly units to heal them. Or yeah, that's just the idea right now. You can make cannonballs. You can coat your cannonballs in different kind of stuff. But you could also have different kind of mineable things like sulfur and stuff, so you can actually make more powerful gunpowders and whatnot. So the Way Rider isn't just locked to map making. So I've got all these flowers, transfer. Look at that. That's all on the ship now. I actually really like that. That's cool.
Master Soul's off to bed, 6 a.m.
Oh, thank you so much for popping by the stream. We will be streaming again in 2 weeks. We're going to keep this fortnightly. If we pick up momentum, we might do a little bit more, but every fortnight we will pop on and show where we're at. Even if it's just nothing, even if we're like, yeah, we did nothing for 2 weeks, we'll still pop on.
We'll pop on and pop off.
That's right, yeah. Okay, guys, we did nothing. All right, see ya. Yeah, so, yeah. Any other questions? Terra, it's like it's really shit on my screen. It's like I don't know why.
The Way Rider could make coloured paint out of the flowers and then paint a sweetness onto the hull of a ship.
Different like color things. We did have that. Am I going to make that? We do have. Is it this? Yeah, we got this. Yeah. It's a little flare. That like.
Oh yeah, no, we did want to do that.
You could totally have different color things. I don't know about painting Schweenuses on the sides of ships. No, I don't really have any intention to have painting anything anywhere. You can change the color and decoration of your ship. Absolutely. That's the pilot. The pilot gets to choose the way the ship looks. Yeah. The Way Rider color paints. Yeah. Yeah. So please make law accurate Aussie Outback with 30-foot kangaroos.
Not really law accurate, is it?
Law accurate. Where's the other player? He's just not here anymore. I will quickly show you the last region on this little area that we've worked on. So we have Durdoon, which is crazy forests, which will eventually become not so crazy forest because it's going to be logged. That's a real like insider scoop, like preemptive story spoiling right there. What's this area called? I always forget the name of it. I forget the name of it.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
This is Snakebite Gorge, the next one. And we will not be able to fly over the mountains like this. This is an impossible thing. Cannot just fly over the mountains. You have to fly through like this.
You have to fly through.
Yeah, if you go to the snowy area, like the height of the snow on these mountains, your instruments will start freezing up and stuff, and you'll just start dropping. I need a drink. Let's go lower. Wingpoo, Terra is doing an awful job. Is this what you've been working on while you've been banned? Yeah.
Banned from what?
I don't know. So, this is a little...
Just posted it. I didn't get a chance to read it out.
I was sitting there looking at it, waiting.
Oh, I don't know.
We do want to have
I am
little...
Yeah,
I know. We won't be up for much longer. Do your best to read everyone's work and...
read their work. That guy's got a face. That one's got
Joker.
a shark.
Thanks for the shark.
If only you could send us shark cards, then we'd be rich.
Well, that was a shark card, pretty much. Because that's a giant emoji, which they have to pay for.
Of a shark.
Yeah, same with DK. So this is... Yeah. It's 30 bits, Joel. I haven't changed the setting on it, so I don't know. This is like a little tomb area. I think Wingpoo and Jokers would know from previous streams that we were last on. You remember how we had it set up like Fall Guys? So you have like that little puzzle that you have to get to the end, and basically it's a race course. That's still in this game. It's locked behind that paywall over there.
Which I can't get through.
You can't get through because it doesn't exist. But basically, you, as a quest, might have to go to this region and it'll load up a different area that does the whole little puzzly thing. So that's what this spot is for. When we get to testing, you'll be able to do that. For now, it's nothing. It's just there. It's there for when we need it. I was going to show the other region, though. So you want to get on the ship?
I can't get on the ship.
I will pick you up.
Put me in your hole. Aboard.
There we go. Oh, see, the audio is still locked to you.
It's less locked to me if I stand where you are.
That's right. The jumpy lava. Yeah, I'm gonna let you. You have to read it. You have to read it. Otherwise, I'll read over you. It is exactly that. Yeah, I know, but I started reading it over you.
Oh, that's your fault.
We're professional streamers.
Finally, a spot I could talk.
Yeah.
And yeah, fucked it.
Can you drive to the underground area? You know the way.
I have no idea where it is.
We'll take the helm, and I will tell you which way to go. In fact, I will use the Wayrider lights. That's one of the cool things. It's the fact that you're driving and I'm able to do stuff. The power of the engine that you use. It is hurdy-gurdy redeem. I got rid of all the redeems because did I have a hurdy-gurdy redeem? I should really want to have hurdy-gurdy be like a core thing in this game.
I think it was just something.
It was just something I did randomly.
Yeah.
It is sort of like dead ahead. Do you have the compass? You might have to switch classes.
I do not.
Yeah, switch classes.
I do.
The pilot, when they're piloting the airship, has the ability to see which way we're heading. No one else does. Again, I really like the idea of having things like real in a way. Like the guy who drives the ship knows how to read the instruments on the ship. Whereas like the guy who knows how to read, like read books and stuff, can actually read. No one else can. The guy who knows how to use the engineering stuff. Let's chuck some darkness in here. It is directly south. I'm hoping you can see that. So yeah, the Wayrider can read the map and all that kind of stuff, right?
Is your landscape poorly tiled?
No. I don't know how. It's not tiled. Tiled?
Tilled? I thought that had 2 L's in it. I wasn't really sure. Oh, down.
No, I mean the landscape here is a lot less worked
this.
on. Yeah, this is why you need the lights. I'll drop this one down and use the other one. In here is cool. It's spooky, dark, and
desolate.
Yeah. I think you have to go southwest. Actually, I might switch because the other light's a little bit better. And I'll change the lighting to be nighttime and lock it. So it's as dark as possible. So talking about koboldy areas, now this area is really like so underdeveloped. This is probably the last spot. Oh, head west. West. You're going to hit a wall.
There's a wall.
Yeah, you got to head west and then up and then south. I don't know. Can you see my light?
I can see the pointy one, yeah.
Yeah, it's up there in that pitch blackness. So this is already something that, like, as players, you have to kind of work together to be able to navigate. You should be able to see straight up there.
Oh, pointy bits.
Try not to, pointy bits. And this is way brighter than I remember it being.
The ground goes
Oh,
really
yeah, no, it's definitely correct. Yeah, the ground goes real low. Just go up now. Up. Vertical. And right. And you should be vertical and right. You should be in the cave area. You can see how dark it is. You're just up. You're going to pretty much come to a stop forward. Spot. Yeah. And this is the KV region. Again, very underdeveloped. But can I jump on the ground? It is explorable. No, it's not undead. It is explorable to a degree. There's just nothing in it. Are you still going up? I think you can go any direction. Doesn't really matter. Place is... Why is it so weirdly lit? I swear it was darker than this. That's alright. But this is your Kobold Cave, DK. Pretty cool, right? So we want to have underground regions. This is meant to be under the mountain. And this is like me really practicing what it could look like. Look at that rope. Yeah. So it's pretty cool. I like it. I think it needs way more work. It needs more life down here as well. With nothing to do, it's just a art showcase.
What are you, that guy?
Yes. The artist. Cannot hit you from here.
Bloody beret boy.
I can hit me though. Oh, look at the frames.
Why is it so framey? Yeah.
It's just me.
No, it's not.
Oh, you get in frames.
Yeah, because I'm like updating to your position, which isn't my position.
Interesting. I'm getting 14 frames at the moment.
What'd you do?
I shot myself.
And that made it lag.
Yeah.
Where'd the ground go? Oh, there's something in front. There's the ground. Nope, the ground's gone.
Trying to see if dying makes it run nicer. Why did I spawn on you?
Yeah. Oh,
Let's go back to the starting location. Can you still join if I quit? Actually, not quit. Leave. We start again. Host.
I don't know if it's at the point where I can
Just rejoin.
But
I think
yeah.
I think you did.
I thought I fixed it all.
I might change my dude just to show you can actually change your dude. So we do have like different classes that load in. I'll go as this guy. Got different faces as well, but people have said it's not different enough. Different hairstyles. We do have different coloring for the hairs, but not here for some reason. And different eyebrows, of which they are my favorite. Different mustaches. I've made so many. I don't know why that one. This is the only one that where it clips into it. The rest of the beards, they're correct. So making it so it works is frustrating. There's a little bit of wobble, but it's not the right system. So the thing does have bones. I don't know why it doesn't work properly. I mean, all of these will be like things you play for as well. So you would start off with like kind of nothing. Where is the actual starter stash? Standard? No. I think it's Freddy.
I don't know what's default anymore.
I think it's Squire is the shortest beard you can get. Oh no, it's Youngling. So Youngling, and then your hair would be whatever hair. We don't really have anything defaulty. But let's say that that's basically what your default dude would look like. And then you'd play and you'd unlock things as you go along. It's almost identical to how Deep Rock does it. So you'll get currency and stuff that you can spend on cosmetics. So you won't actually have any of these, but this is all just to show that things exist. Nice clipping into the costume there. Some of these beards I adore.
It just needs a bit more variation.
Yeah, I think I've got way less beards than I do. Oh no, I did add more. I think color is the next thing that really needs to be added to the hair system. It's quite interesting how much color changes your look.
It gives you a bit more personal.
Yeah.
It technically was kind of in there.
It is in there. It's just not in. It's not on.
In. Yeah.
It's like not in this menu. There we go. We'll just stick with something silly. My favorite. Were you able to rejoin? Yeah, you were.
I did.
We'll just start again. See if the frames have been healed. There we go. So now I'm the pilot. You can actually see if I go on the helm, I have a compass. A compass at very low frames. It's in the top of the window. Why are my frames so poo-poo? I don't know. Still working on a lot of optimization. So for now, it's just a bit crappy here and there. We did have a little bit of combat that I can show off, and we'll end it there. So we have this little. We can't fight back, but we can die. Which is how you're supposed to make games, right? Make it impossible to actually win.
Yeah.
We have this little system. It's not fully working yet, but it is here. Oh, you can also see in the top right-hand corner the like bellows and temperature and all that kind of stuff. It's all almost connected. That was almost a good hit. So you can see we are taking hits. I'll just come to a full stop. And if I go down below the deck, you can see where we're getting hit. And hopefully, there we go. It wasn't very glamorous, but there's a hole in the ship. And I can actually fall out from this hole.
There's a hole in
I'm also so close to getting hit by the cannonball. Oh, the cannon went straight through the thing. You stop shooting. If anything, shoot the other way so you turn the ship around a little bit. So these cannons do put in like a tiny bit of... there's a little bigger hole. They do put in like effects to how the ship rotates and stuff. Oh yeah, the cannonball went all the way through to the other side. I want to get hit by that cannonball. I'm just dead. What do you mean it shouldn't? Their cannonballs can go into the inside our deck.
I don't believe they can.
Well, they did.
Okay.
Anyway, this ship does have a health bar. Or I shouldn't say health bar. It has a certain amount of health before it dies. I don't know what it is at the moment, but if it gets hit enough, the ship will fall and die. So we do have like an end game. Does it show if I'm driving it? No. It'd be nice if it did.
But
just health, a health bar. Like
no,
a number,
I was working on like a little picture system, but it hadn't been finished.
I think it has 100 hits before it dies. I did lower it quite a lot. But yeah, that's it. That's what we have so far.
Faster if they can all hit you. No, all four can. Good.
Yeah, no, they're all hitting. Does anyone have any questions before we finish up? Feel free to throw any questions at all before we pretty much pack up. We did show quite a lot of stuff as well. I think next week, so in a fortnight, we'll have this system working again. So we'll have the conveyor belt system that comes up to the top, and the being able to pull things from these shelves that are down here. We did just crash. Worst time to... Yeah, I don't know where I am.
The ship is
falling.
Teleporting around the map as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, what you can see, yeah. Anyway, we will be able to... we will be able to pull stuff out of this, out of these shelves and put them into this. I've never been on this upside down. The anchor dropped as well. Wait, what if I disembark? It's up there. It'll disembark me over to the... There we go.
Safe.
You can see the ship. So it crashed, but the anchor is still connected. Let's hop back on. Oh, what's going on here? This is cool. It says disembark, yeah. Go all the way down here, so you can see things are on fire. Obviously, that's all like placeholder. It's going to be a lot more. I think it'll be a lot more destroyed. The Death Star blows up, destroyed. Yeah, that's it. Looks pretty cool. Pretty broken. That's what it looks like right now. Let me try and find Terra. If I can get out of here.
Where I am. Oh no, I died.
Did you?
Yeah, I'm on the ship, which isn't the ship.
How do I get off the ship without dying? land on the balloon. There you are. You're currently on the balloon.
Way down on the ground.
Oh my god, it's like it's impossible to not die.
It's really hard.
Balloon. Go down to this wall. That's got to be the shortest. Oh my god, no. You can't get off the ship. Anyway, thanks everyone for joining tonight. Again, this time in a fortnight. Come back and we will be here again. If you're wanting to have some sort of update as to when that is, feel free to join the Discord. I think it is it's somewhere. I think it's, can I drop a link in the chat? I cannot. To the Discord if anyone wants to join. If you're not already joined, I know a lot of you have already joined.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's in the description, or it's in the about somewhere. We are posting updates, so we're showing off the dev stuff over there, and maybe an escape rope just deploys when it crashes. Well, the idea is once it's crashed, it's game over. Like there's no way of repairing the ship once it's dead. So there's no point in terms of having it have saving grace features. Like you lost the fucking ship that was lent to you. It blew up.
Yeah, you're done.
You're done. Yeah. But yeah, you will be able to repair it as you go along. So we would have actually been able to stop it. But yeah, that's it. The end. Again, thanks everyone for joining. We'll catch you in a fortnight. Come by and see how much we get done, if anything at all. That's how it goes, right? No, we'll get something done. I should. Yeah. All right. Wait, can I drop the anchor here and get off?
Can you drop the anchor?
Yeah, I did.
No.
I dropped the anchor through the floor, but I can't get back up. I think I need to die. Hang on. I just want to see if I can get on the ground without dying. Yeah, because the anchor's there now. So if I spawn in here... Oh, it spawned me in the fucking engineer room. Excuse my French. Which way's down? Up is down. Here we go. Yeah, on the ground. And here's my buddy on the ground with me. Discord link. Thank you so much, DK. See you guys then. Thank you all so much. Bye-bye.
Till next time.